It's first pitch. I'm the Prez, Ralph Michaels and Dave Cokin with us. We talk baseball, every game on the board. We take them all apart. We do it from a betting perspective, and you can find all three of us at WagerTalk.com. Smoking Dave Cokin, what's going on, my brother?
Well, my game got rained out last night. I like the Reds at a price against the Cardinals. And here's where you have to look at things from a different perspective when the same two pitchers are going to go the next day. I obviously was looking at playing the Reds again this morning against the Cardinals, but then noticed how bad the Reds have been in day games this year. 7-19 in day games. So it's like, well, that'll scratch that one off. So we're focusing on the night games that we're going to talk about on today's program.
Ralph Michaels, how you doing, brother? How did your 5% MLB total go?
Well, it was one of those frustrating as heck plays that the Pirates left a lot of guys on bases, hitting some double plays. But, hey, Atlanta scored 4 in the ninth for the over, and we cashed the ticket. So a win's a win. It's nice to get them that way. We tend to always remember the losers and forget the nice late wins we get.
I had Atlanta yesterday. I lost it, and I had the under in the Minnesota-Cleveland game the day before, and the Yankees under the day before. I'm on a roll right now in MLB, guys. Head over to WagerTalk.com. Check me out. I've won 3 of my last 4, and I'm up pretty good units on the season, but none of us are Dr. Chuck or Tony Finn right now, but you know the way this works. Up and down, roller coaster, baby. Dave, you've been on that roller coaster for 40 bloody years.
Yep, and it's fun. It's a fun ride. Hope it continues for another 20 anyway.
That's for sure. Well, we're not talking NBA, but race to 20 wraps. Somebody called that on the Morning Joe show yesterday. Oh, it was me.
Well, against the walking moon, and it's funny that, all the dialogue this morning is now Curry knows how LeBron felt without Kevin Love and Kyrie the first time he played. So it's not quite as easy if you don't have a couple of all-stars next to you on the court.
Yeah.
Curry was he was phenomenal last night, but yeah, you got to get some help.
How many did he end up with?
47.
47, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, he looked great. Boys, we've got about, I think, 5 or 6 baseball games to talk about. A lot going on during the day. We don't talk about any of those. We only discuss games after 6 p.m. Eastern. So let's get to it. Toronto, 2 wins in a row against the mighty New York Yankees. I feel like Toronto is really putting themselves in a great position to be last. They are playing the Yanks again today at home, plus 160. The over and under is 9.5. Jackson versus Happ tonight. First, I don't think Toronto's played Happ since he went to the Yankees. Dave?
I didn't look that up, to be honest with you, but I have no interest in playing Edwin Jackson at this point, who looks like he's kind of had it. I mean, he has not been good at all for the Blue Jays. He's been around a long time. He's been with a lot of different teams, but it looks like it might be the end of the line. And you got to think the Yankees not real happy about the last 2 results. Unfortunately, if you want to play it, you're going to have to lay a big price here, and it really hasn't come down to any extent. So it's not like there's any. You're just not going to get much value here at 185, 190, that range. It's just too many dollars for me to lay on the road.
Well, if I'm looking at this game to go over the total, I mean, Happ just has not been himself all year. He has a 4.8 ERA on the season with 63 innings pitched. He has a 6 ERA in his last 3 games. Edwin Jackson's an absolute disaster. And although Toronto plays to the under, normally their bats are alive right now. I see no reason why this game should stay under. I like over 9.5. Any thoughts?
I agree. Edwin Jackson, how about a 13.2 ERA? But at least he's been consistent.
Yeah, it's funny.
Year, he's given up 3, 6, 7, 10. So there's only one way to go. This actually is the Joe's angle of the day on the Las Vegas sports line. The Blue Jays, 7-1-1 over as a home dog. The Yankees, 18-3-1, 86% to the over as an away favorite.
Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing. Wow. Yeah, so there you go. Both Ralph and I agree with the over, and Dave Cokin is finding no value at all in that game. Minnesota, 2 losses in a row, Ralph. Lost 9-7 last night to Cleveland. You know, Dave, me and you spoke about Prez yesterday. You talked about how he's going to come back down to earth, and we saw it. Great call on that one. Tonight we've got Cleveland, the favorite again. A very short number, -115. The over and under here is 8.5. Dave, you said Cleveland needs to win this series. Well, they've put themselves in a spot for a sweep, and 2 good pitchers on the mound, Barrios versus Bauer. Under the total of 8.5 seems like the play to me, except for the fact that both teams are hitting the ball right now. Where are you going in this game?
Yeah, unders with the Twins are dangerous because that offense is theirs. It's a monster offense, and the Indians showing some life in this series. Not like Bauer has been real good lately. Barrios, he was really, I love the way he threw the ball last time out. I think he gave up 3 runs, but so it didn't really show in the line, but boy, I mean, his stuff was really good in that start. But this is one of those games where I look at it and I see a situation to me that favors the Indians. They've come away with 2 wins. This is a very big series to them, and they would love to finish it off with a sweep with the Yankees coming in next. I mean, this is where the Indians have got to make or break their season, in effect, in early June. And having won the first 2 in this series, I don't think I want to go against them in this spot. They've got a little positive momentum. I'm not going to play on them, I don't think, but that's the side I lean to here.
Ralph, any thoughts on this game?
I'm surprised the Indians are favored. You look at their situation, they're 4-8 as a home favorite for the last 12. You look at Bauer, his last 6 starts, the Indians are 1-5. He's pitched poorly. Barrios, a 1.10 road whip. And again, I look at first 5 innings because it's on the First Pitch newsletter. In Bauer's last 6 starts, he's 0-6 the first 5 innings. In Barrios' last 10 starts, he's 6-1-3 the first 5 innings. So, looking at just those numbers and the way the Indians, I'm looking at the Indians' last 15 games on the First Pitch right now. They have 2 first 5 inning wins in the last 15 games.
Well, let's talk about the First Pitch. We call this show First Pitch. We also have a daily publication called The First Pitch, written, of course, by you. Tell us about it.
It's just 2 full pages per game. It gives you the pitcher's last 10 game logs. It gives you also first inning and 5th inning for the pitchers and the teams. At a glance, you could see. And, it also has home favorite, home dog, day, night, righties, lefties. Not only a record, but it gives you the average line on the season so you can see the true value of those records as well. It's up at WagerTalk.com. Go to my Cal Sports page, and it's up there daily. And I do want to mention for any new viewers, you don't need a credit card when you register. Just put your name and email in, and then you can click on it free daily. Again, WagerTalk.com and then the Cal Sports page.
Yeah, and remember, guys, it's free every day. Ralph puts a lot of work into it. And it's really part of the package from WagerTalk, Sports Memo, and the Gold Sheet. 3 companies, all combined into one, creating the world's largest sports gambling content provider. Dave, Texas, Baltimore. We expected a high-scoring game yesterday. At least I did. 12-11. What?
I did not.
Well, you're better than me. 12-11 for
that game. I happen to be better than you, but no, I'm not saying overall I'm not.
I know, brother. 12-11 for Baltimore 2 nights ago. Last night, Texas 2-1. They're playing against each other again tonight. Big favorite for Texas, minus 180. Look, strangely, Bet365 is minus 152 and Guts.com is minus 200. So strange. The over and under in this game is 11. We've got Hess against Girardi. Dave, talk to us, brother.
There's not much to talk about in this game. It's priced about where it should be. You might make a slight case that Texas is maybe a bit overpriced because, they're missing Joey Gallo, and that's worth some money as far as...
Yeah, he's playing great this year.
Oh, the OPS is out of sight. He's having a great season, and him being on the DL is definitely a hit for that team. But you really can't trust the Orioles. They did manage to win one game in this series. Urado's been halfway decent for the Rangers. Texas should win the ball game, but it's up to you whether you're willing to lay roughly $1.75, $1.80 to get them home. I'm not. That's just too much for me.
Ralph, give me your thoughts here, but also, you look at Baltimore, and I mean, this is a team that really just struggles to hit the ball. Whenever you're getting a number like 11, you want to be taking under 11 in every Baltimore game, period. The problem then lies with Texas. This team just knocks the ball around the park almost every game. I lean on the under here. You don't need to speak to that. What do you like in this game?
Well, I will say from the first pitch, the Rangers are, in the last 20 days, they're 2-10 over-under at home. So, while they've been scoring, they've been getting some decent pitching. But, no one's pitching as poorly as David Hess. The Orioles are 1-9 since his opener. He's 0-9-1 the first 5 innings, a 1.51 whip. And the Rangers, a lot of teams have a decent home favorite record, and the Rangers fall in that category. They're actually 14 in their last 20 as a favorite. And over the last 20 days, they're 12-6 on the run line. So they've been a team that when they win, they have covered the run line, if you're interested in the Rangers in that thought.
Oakland, Los Angeles. Oakland's... Sorry, Dave?
No, I'm gonna talk about what happened in last night's game.
Well, then you need no lead in from me. I hand you the floor.
Well, I mean, Bob Melvin's had not having a great run the last week or so with some decisions, and he made a couple last night that were just mind-numbing and probably cost Oakland the game. First off, there was a play where the Angels runner went past second base on a ball that was caught, did not tag the base on the way back. The announcers for both teams mentioned this. Oh, that's going to get reviewed, and Oakland never reviewed it. That inning therefore continued, and eventually what happened, runners at first and second with 2 outs, and they walked Mike Trout to load the bases. That's a daring maneuver, and I understand it's Mike Trout, but, walking the winning run to third base, I don't know about that. And you've got Ohtani coming up next, and guess what? Oakland brings in a lefty reliever, and he walks in the run. Unbelievable. I mean, if you take the worst of it, percentage-wise, it's going to do you in more often than not. And I thought Bob Melvin really cost him that game last night. And that worries me moving ahead to today's game because I think it creates kind of a negative feeling in the clubhouse. It might not be a negative feeling that lasts long, but there can be a carryover. That to me is kind of a demoralizing loss for Oakland, especially in a game they led 7-1. And off that, I would look at the Angels in this game. Plus, you've got Skaggs on the mound who can be tough at home and has been pitching pretty good ball. Fiers can also be very difficult, but I would look at the Oakland side here. Excuse me, the Angels side.
Well, and the Angels are at home at minus 130. The over and under in this game is 9.5. I've got nothing. Ralph, what do you think?
Well, the home road splits are big for these pitchers. Fiers on the road, 6.37 compared to 3.6 at home. Skaggs the opposite, 2.28 at home compared to 6.3 on the road. Dave, you talked about some negative momentum with Oakland. I'm going to talk about some positive momentum for the Angels. I tweeted this out this morning. I just used the sample size of this season, but teams that are off a walk-off win, scoring like the Angels did, are 41-24 the next game, plus 14.6 units. Surprisingly, 4 teams today fit in that walk-off category: Arizona, the Angels, Texas, and Washington.
And speaking of Washington, that's up next. Before we get into that, really quick, everyone, no puck time today. We did it yesterday. It's for tonight's game. Alex, myself, Carmine, and Andrew will be back tomorrow. And no Morning Joe, as there's no NBA tonight. But Marco and I will be doing the NBA tomorrow for tomorrow's game. Washington on the road against San Diego. This Washington team 28-33 on the season. San Diego dead even. Washington, they're finally getting some wins, Dave. They've won 4 in a row, 6 of 7, 8 of 10, and they find themselves minus 110 tonight, give or take, with the over and under at 7.5. Their season is not over yet. Especially,
I mean, you don't lose. They're 5 games under 500. Okay, they're not that far up. I don't think they're a playoff team, but they still have that 3-headed monster at the top of the rotation, and Corbin is one of those 3 heads.
Yes.
And the Padres, they could be in the negative momentum. It wasn't a walk-off, but, boy, it might have felt like one of the Padres yesterday. That's a bad loss for them because they had that game under control. The normally solid San Diego bullpen did not do its job yesterday. Craig Stammen had a rough outing. And the Nationals have got some real positive momentum right now. I would give Corbin a slight edge over Lucchesi in the pitching. I thought the Nationals should be the small favorite in this game. Right now, about even money. Maybe Padres minus 107 would be the consensus. So it's not a super value, but I would look at the Nationals side first here.
Dave, I'm with you 100%. I mean, this is one of those don't overthink it games. You got a Washington team that's feeling good, that's hitting the ball, that's pitching well. They've got all the momentum in the world. They're playing San Diego, who's lost 4 of 5, had a terrible loss last night, and you've got a better pitcher on the mound in Corbin. At even money, give or take, I'm with you. I like Washington. Ralph?
I'm going to semi-disagree. I look at the team, and again, we're talking huge home run splits for these pitchers. Corbin, 5.0 on the road, 2.3 at home. Of course, he's on the road. Lucchesi, 2.6 at home, 6.75 on the road. Then I look at the Nationals, and yes, you could say that they're 9-2 their last 11. But they played the road at that, come home for 4 games against the Marlins. They go on the road for 5 games against the Braves and Reds. They come home 2 games for the White Sox. Now they're on the road again. A lot of traveling for them. So while I'm not enamored with San Diego, I see enough reason to not back Washington.
He's Ralph Michaels. I'm the Prez. Dave Cokin, my co-host every day on First Pitch. Guys, awesome show. Dave, me, you, and Brian Leonard tomorrow. I'll send out the times. Ralph, thanks for joining us, brother. Do you have anything quick on the NBA Game 4?
Well, it's not the same Golden State team, but they are 11-2 ATS off a loss in the playoffs. And, Curry talked about this morning how that championship pedigree will come to rise. So we'll see what happens. But I'd be afraid to play against Golden State off a loss as long as they get one of their 2 guys back.
No, I think Thompson will be back.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be public, but I think Golden State's going to be coming to play in Game 4.
Yeah, Durant this morning, actually, Golden State is calling a scrimmage today. So this is the first time he'll scrimmage. And if he comes through the scrimmage okay, he'll be released to play. They're just calling in some coaches and some of the young players. Their veterans aren't going to practice. But this is positive step if you're a Durant or Golden State fan.
Boys, thanks for joining us. Everyone, thanks for listening. Please comment. I'll get to all of them. And that's it. We'll speak tomorrow. Take care of yourselves.
See you guys.
See you later in the studio.